Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Prophet Adam and the Garden Path. Today let's discuss Iblis, the Jinn Supremacist. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. In the Quran, we have the Adam narrative woven through the Quran as well as an Iblis narrative woven through the Quran. And they go together. So Adam alayhi salam, he is the father of humanity. And Iblis is our avowed enemy. Now notice that Iblis, he refuses to prostrate to Adam when Allah commands the angels and Iblis to prostrate to him. And he says that I am better than him, for I am smokeless fire. And he is just clay, he is dirt, he is earth. So he's got a sense of superiority. And his reasoning is weak. But he's going to then, he becomes a Satan out of conceit and arrogance. He feels better. He feels more worthy, more chosen than humanity. He's also going to demonstrate, perhaps to Allah, perhaps to himself, perhaps to humanity, that we are unworthy, that we are murderous, that we are corrupters of the earth. Now the earth is not just the realm around us, but our very flesh. It's our very sacred clay. Our genetic structure is the earth itself. And so he's going to prove that we are corruptors thereby. And he's going to entrap us, and he's going to trick us through whisperings into proving this point. So part of this thing, this whole conceit and arrogance is a tremendous sin. This sense of chosenness, this sense of supremacy. Now, Iblis, in this sense, he is the original supremacist. He feels that the jinn are superior and supreme to humanity, more worthy and more chosen than humanity. So he is a racist, he is a bigot, he hates us, he despises us, he mocks us. He's also a speciesist, although I think that's a really ridiculous word, and we need a better word. But you know, whenever someone feels better than the creation around them and other types of creatures, to feel superior intellectually, energetically, whatever it might be, we need a better word. But anyway, he's a supremacist. And any individual, any organization, any collective that feels chosen or supreme over others, over other humans, over all of creation, then they are demonstrating an Iblisian behavior. They are conceited, they are arrogant, they are mockers, they are often deceivers. They are lying not only to others but to themselves, because with their words they're showing that they are superior to others, supreme over others, but then that betrays a sense of inferiority, maybe a self-doubt perhaps. So I want us to just consider how dangerous this sense of supremacy is. There are many Muslims that have a sense of Islamic supremacy. Islam shall reign supreme. Islam is supreme. And the thing is, the Quran betrays this. Now, when it comes to Islam, the actual expression, when I'm saying Islam, I'm using those quotes. Islamic supremacy with quotes. Because this is actually a mistaken notion, the false expression of Islam, not the true expression of Islam. The true expression of Islam would be a surrender of ego to Allah. It would be going into an egoless flow state where the truth is our total devotion. We are totally devoted to the truth and truth alone. Slave to no individual, no man, no system, no company, no state. Slave to nothing, slave to no concept. Only a slave to truth and truth alone. So this is very important to consider, and we do not want to be among the arrogant ones. We do not want to be a supremacist in any way. Only through piety, through moral and ethical excellence and energetic excellence is there any type of superiority. And that's not something that somebody's going to be talking about, because we all have fruits. We all bear fruits. This is what Isa alayhi salam says. He says that if you want to know someone, look at their fruits. The fruits that they bear. We're each trees from the garden. Think about yourself like this with the metaphor of the tree. We are mobile trees, and our lives, our words and our actions are fruits. Our we want to make sure that our fruits are healthy, that they bring nutrition and energy. We do not want to bring sicknesses and cancers and death and destruction to others through our fruits. We want to bear excellent fruit. So that's why we want to feed our sense doors only the best inputs. And we want to cultivate the best inputs, the best, most expansive heart that can contain all of humanity. We are to come into an egoless flow state and be caliphs of the earth. To be a caliph of the earth, a true child of Adam alayhi salam, is not to be a ruler, it's not to be a dominator, it's not to be a king, it's certainly not to be an enslaver, it's not to be a tyrant, it's not to be a tormentor. None of these things are for us to do whatsoever. And they're very dirty behaviors, and we need to be very wary of them. Instead, we need to be caretakers of all of creation. We need a heart that's expansive enough to contain all of creation within it. And we need to be caretakers. We need to be kind-hearted with all the beings in all the ecosystems of Allah's brilliant, interconnected, interdependent creation, which is still unfolding before us and is unfolding in your very life, in your very breath. Everything is kun infused and kun created. So this is something that a Jinn supremacist and a human supremacist, a racial supremacist will not acknowledge or recognize, because they feel as an individual that they're disconnected from everything. But everything has energetic causes and effects. And we need to understand this and realize this. So we're not separate individuals. We're not permanent individuals. Everything fades except for Allah's face. This is literally programmed into the universe. So we need to be very, very wary of any Iblisian tactics. And please, we need to observe, as an ummah, as individuals and a collective, we need to observe our thought patterns, our speech patterns, and our words and actions. And we need to check to make sure, are we behaving in a supremacist manner? Are we behaving arrogantly in a conceited manner? Toward ourselves, toward others, in an unrealistic manner. Because this is the way of an Iblis. This is the way of a Pharaoh. It's the sunnah, the sunan of Iblis and the shayateen. The sunan of the shayateen. And there are many Muslims who are engaged in these behaviors, and it is a really ugly form of dawah to show any type of mockery of Muslims or non-Muslims. And I see this all the time. It's all over the internet, and it makes us look like hypocrites. And also the other thing about supremacy claims, invariably it cannot be backed up. And it's backed up in ugly ways. It has to be backed up with force. It has to be backed up with deceit and fear tactics. And generally, these people are not upstanding people. They only play that on TV or on the internet, you know? And so we should be very, very wary. Like if we see leaders and in their videos, there's a pattern of mockery toward Muslims and non-Muslims. We need to really pay attention to this, because each of us give dawah through our behaviors. We should be calling people to truth, to excellence, to ethical excellence. And we should demonstrate moral uprightness, not a fake, artificial form, but a natural, organic expression of this. So we need to go through Tawbah and Tazkiyah. And if we notice, when we notice arrogance, conceit, and mockery within ourselves, we need to turn away from that, and we need to go through a purification process, and we need to observe ourselves very carefully. We need to be rectified as an ummah very quickly, because this is the era of the deceiver. And I need us to really, really consider what this means, because it really looks like we're in the day that is like a year. And if this is the case, rather than trying to prove it's not correct, look for the ways that it may be accurate, and try to consider, really, we should be measuring things against deceit and deception. We should be looking for falsity, deceit, deception, and artificiality all around us, and we need to align ourselves with the truth, with true nature, the way that it was created. We need to protect our sacred Adamic clay. We need to protect the innocent and the vulnerable, including the ecosystems and the other creatures. So there's no room for false supremacies, there's no room for arrogance, there's no room for conceit, and certainly not for mockery. Mockery is very dirty. Many of us, we will catch ourselves, as we start observing our thought patterns and our words, we will notice that we sometimes mock jokingly, we exaggerate, sometimes we're engaged in a little bit of, what's the right word? We are, I lost the word, but it's like, we're engaged in different types of mockery, and we need to just be very aware of this, people. I'm saying this because I love us, and I see our potential, and I see the potential for excellence within us. And we need to make sure that we come out of any form of devilry. We should never be following the sunnah of any of the Satans. Don't follow the sunnah of the shayateen. And mockery is a big sign of it, and it's for us to gauge ourselves. All right, so we don't want to be among the hypocrites. We do not want to be among the mockers ever. So let's please check ourselves, and let's choose the better words, the better actions, the better behaviors, inshallah. So I'm praying for us that we would come into our maturity and our excellence and stand upright. Until next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.